Have you ever met someone who apologizes like it's a reflex, as if breathing is an inconvenience? Some people move through life trying not to be noticed. They bow their heads when they speak. They say sorry even when someone else steps on their foot. Their presence feels soft, almost fragile, like they're always bracing for something. But if you listen closely, not just to the sound of their voice, but to the silences wrapped around it, there's an echo, a quiet ache, the kind that comes from growing up in a home that was safe on the outside, but emotionally winter on the inside. No yelling, no wounds, just the cold absence of warmth. And when a child grows up in that kind of climate, they learn something dangerous without ever being told. I guess I'm not worth being held. That belief doesn't age out. It grows with them. But the strangest part, the world calls them strong, not knowing their strength is really just the armor of a lonely child. People praise them for being independent, for never needing help, for being the one who carries everybody without ever placing a burden down. But independence born from survival isn't confidence. It's camouflage. When love was unpredictable as a child, you learned not to reach out. You trained yourself to read every expression, every pause, every tiny shift in someone's tone. Your nervous system became a radar for danger, for withdrawal, for disappointment. But here's the problem. That radar doesn't turn off just because you grew up. A short text sounds like anger. A delayed response feels like abandonment. Neutral becomes threatening. Not because you're dramatic, but because your body remembers a story your mind forgot to tell. Neuroscience shows this. A neglected child's brain adapts for survival, not connection. It becomes a place where love feels like a risk, and safety feels like pretending you don't need anyone. But here's the heartbreak. Those who grew up with the least love often give the most. People who lacked warmth don't grow up empty. They grow up overflowing. They give more love than they ever received. They take care of everyone else but collapse in silence. They offer softness even when no one ever offered it to them. It's beautiful. And it's devastating, because deep inside there's a voice whispering, if I give enough, maybe someone will finally choose me. But the hardest part of healing isn't forgiving the parents who didn't know how to show love. The hardest part is forgiving yourself for the years you believed it was your fault. Children blame themselves because the truth is too painful. If love wasn't there, then maybe I must be the reason. So they grow up performing for affection, achieving, fixing, pleasing, overworking, not to succeed but to belong. Then one day, maybe in heartbreak, maybe in quiet exhaustion, the truth breaks through. You weren't chasing affection. You were chasing proof that you were lovable. But once you realize that, something inside you shifts, and the real rewiring begins. Healing doesn't arrive in lightning bolts. It arrives in tiny, almost invisible moments. Moments like someone listening without interrupting, a friend remembering something small you said, you choosing kindness toward yourself instead of criticism. These are not small moments. These are neural rewrites. Psychologists call it earned security. The idea that even if your foundation was unstable, you can still build a new structure, slowly, consciously, gently. And as this happens, the old beliefs begin to crumble. I'm too much becomes, I'm allowed to exist fully. I have to earn love becomes, love isn't a reward, it's a birthright. If they see the real me, they'll leave becomes, the right people stay for authenticity, not performance. For the first time, calm doesn't feel suspicious. Stillness doesn't feel empty. You stop craving chaos because peace finally feels like home. And when that shift happens, something miraculous begins to grow inside you. There comes a moment in the healing journey that feels almost sacred. A moment when you look at an old photograph of yourself, that small, hopeful version of you, and you whisper, you deserved more. You always did. And something inside you rises. Not the child who begged for love, but the adult who can finally give it. You start choosing peace over attention, boundaries over self-betrayal, connection over chaos. You stop chasing people who make you feel like a backup option. You stop shrinking to keep others comfortable. You begin to see your worth not as something others give you, but something that's been quietly waiting inside you all along. And maybe, just maybe, the miracle is not that you survived an unloved childhood. The miracle is that your heart still knows how to love, that it still reaches, still hopes, still believes warmth exists, because the child inside you never stopped wanting one thing, someone who would finally see them and not turn away. And now that someone can be you. If this feels like your story, don't leave yet, because what comes next is learning how to love yourself in ways no one ever taught you.